You might have heard whispers, quiet conversations in coin groups, rumors floating across social media, and mysterious screenshots claiming unbelievable prices. This presidential dollar sold for thousands. Someone found a rare James Madison coin worth a fortune. And the boldest rumor of all. One version of this coin could be worth $1 million. Most people laugh. Some stay curious. But collectors, they lean in. Because in the coin world, unbelievable stories sometimes turn out to be true. Think about it. Rare pennies found in pocket change have shocked collectors. Quarters sold for life-changing amounts at auctions. Simple-looking nickels turning into five-figure treasures. So why not this coin? Right now, you're looking at the James Madison presidential $1 coin. A coin many see every day, yet few truly understand. A coin that appears ordinary. But history has shown that the most valuable coins rarely look special at first glance. Some say it's just another dollar coin. Some say all these coins are common, worthless, forgettable. But there are others, those who know the secret world of minting, who say that hidden errors, rare mint strikes, and untouched high-grade examples might turn this coin into something extraordinary. Imagine for a moment, you're holding a coin worth $1. But a small detail, a tiny mint flaw, a special strike, a preserved condition, could change everything. And that's where the million-dollar whispers begin. Are they fantasy? Are they clever clickbait? Or is there a rare variation of this coin that only a few lucky collectors have ever seen? Today, we're going to dig deep, way deeper than surface-level price rumors. We'll explore what fuels these claims, what collectors are actually paying, what hidden error types exist, and what realistic values look like. From pocket change levels to hundreds, thousands, and yes, even the extremely rare, ultra-high-grade finds that shock the world. Because while most people ignore this coin, some collectors search for it like treasure hunters, knowing that modern US dollar coins can't be underestimated. Let me warn you, this isn't just a story about a coin. It's about history. It's about mistakes turned into miracles. It's about hidden value in plain sight. So stay till the very end, because by the time we finish this 6-part journey, you'll know the truth behind the million-dollar rumor. You'll understand this coin's secret varieties and minting errors. And you just might look at every presidential dollar differently from this moment forward. This is not hype. It's a journey through mystery, history, and real collector markets. And the answer to the big question, can this coin really be worth a fortune? Might surprise you more than you expect. Take a deep breath, because now we begin. Before we reveal values, before we expose truth from myth, let's go back to where this journey began, to the story behind the man on this coin, and the legacy that led to its creation. Before we talk rarity, before we chase hidden value, let's step back in time, because every coin is a tiny time machine, and this one carries the legacy of a man whose ideas reshaped a nation. When we talk about this coin, we aren't just talking about metal. We're talking about legacy, power, ideas, and the birth of a nation. We're talking about a man whose fingerprints shaped the blueprint of the United States, a thinker, a strategist, a leader whose words still echo through American history. And that brings us to James Madison. Picture America in the late 1700s, a young nation, fragile like wet clay, still trying to take shape after the fires of the Revolutionary War. The world saw America as an experiment that could collapse at any moment. There was fear, uncertainty, and no clear path forward. But there were also extraordinary minds, and among them was James Madison, small in height, quiet in voice, but giant in intellect. Madison wasn't loud. He didn't command crowds like some leaders. Instead, he commanded ideas, and ideas built governments that armies couldn't destroy. He studied ancient civilizations, examined failed republics, dissected political philosophies, and asked one critical question: how can a nation made of many voices survive without tearing itself apart? From that question came something monumental, the framework of the U.S. Constitution. Not just written words, but the structure that allowed the United States to endure wars, crises, conflicts, growth, and change. It earned him a title no other man could claim, Father of the Constitution. Imagine that. A coin you can hold in your hand today carries the face of the man who shaped the rules of a great nation. Every modern liberty, every civic right, every check and balance, all trace back to Madison's thought and pen. His influence didn't stop there. Alongside Alexander Hamilton and John Jay, he co-authored the Federalist Papers, persuasive writings that convinced a skeptical nation that democracy could work. And if this story ended here, he'd already be immortal. But history rarely gives us simple heroes. Madison wasn't just a thinker, he was a fighter in his own way. Not with weapons, but with policy and determination. He served as Secretary of State, worked alongside Thomas Jefferson, and later became the 4th President of the United States. His presidency saw the War of 1812, a defining moment that tested whether America could survive foreign invasion. The White House burned, the Capitol shook, but in the end, the nation stood stronger. And when the flames of war cleared, Madison's leadership had proven something powerful. This nation wasn't a fragile dream anymore. It was real. It could endure. So imagine this legacy compressed into a small golden-toned coin. Not just currency, a silent tribute to a thinker president who shaped a system meant to last centuries. When you hold this James Madison dollar, you aren't just holding metal. You're holding the story of constitutional birth, intellectual courage, wartime resilience, and a vision that became a nation. This is why collectors pause when they see this coin. It's not about the dollar value alone, it's about the history fused into its design. This is why modern coins matter too. They aren't just circulating items, they're tiny monuments to the people who built the world we live in. And before this coin ever existed, before collectors and rumors and rare errors, there was the presidential $1 coin program, a project meant to honor leaders who shaped America's course. It launched with the dream of teaching future generations through currency, letting everyday people touch history every time they touched a dollar coin. And in 2007, when the 4th release of the series arrived, James Madison took his place among the greats in American coinage. So now that we understand the man behind the metal, we're ready for the next step. Because knowing who Madison was gives meaning to what we're about to explore: the art, the design, the symbolism packed into every curve and line of this coin. And once we uncover that beauty, we go deeper into hidden details, minting secrets, and those rare mistakes collectors search for like treasure hunters with a map. Stay with me, because the journey gets even more fascinating from here. We've understood the legend behind the face. Now let's move into the craft, the design, the storytelling carved into every surface of this intriguing golden dollar. And trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Before we chase rare errors and hidden value, we need to pause and truly look at this coin. Because every valuable discovery, every rare coin found in a drawer or change jar, begins with understanding what you're holding. And this coin, although modern, carries layers of symbolism, artistry, and minting precision that most people never notice. They see a coin, we see history sculpted in metal. So take a moment. Hold the coin in your hand, or imagine it. Feel that golden brass tone, a warm glow born from its special alloy blend. It's not real gold, but it carries the presence of gold, a reminder of power, leadership, and honor. The mint didn't choose this color by accident. They wanted this series to stand out, to feel different from the everyday dull pennies and nickels. This coin was meant to command attention, to whisper prestige, to silently say, "This is a tribute to a leader." Now, turn it slowly. Let your eyes land on the portrait. James Madison stares forward, not with arrogance, but with quiet determination. His expression isn't dramatic, it's thoughtful, intelligent, focused, almost as if the great constitutional debates of his era still echo in his gaze. Notice the engraving lines, the careful strokes that shape his features. This isn't casual mint work. It's precision, carved by master engravers who had one mission: capture not just a face, but a legacy. Around that portrait, you see the inscriptions, bold, curved, commanding. His name, his title, his presidency dates. They frame him like the pages of a history book, reminding the holder exactly who this man was and when he served. There is no flashy decoration, no unnecessary elements, because Madison's power wasn't in spectacle. It was in strategy, intellect, the written word, and nation-building ideas. The design reflects his personality: strong, composed, refined. Flip the coin now, And the reverse tells a completely different story. The Statue of Liberty rises tall, an icon of freedom, hope, and endurance. But look closer. This is not just a statue, it is a symbol chosen for every coin in this presidential series.
Why?
Because each president is supposed to represent the guardians of liberty, the minds and leaders who helped protect the ideals America was built upon. Madison didn't lead armies of millions. He led ideas. And ideas are powerful. Notice the torch, lifted high, bright even in metal, reaching upward. It is the eternal flame of liberty. The outline, the texture, the details of Lady Liberty's robe, each fold carved with precision. She stands not as a decorative element, but as a reminder of the values Madison fought to preserve: freedom, governance, rights, balance, justice. In that simple yet grand design, the coin connects the man to the mission. But the magic of this coin doesn't end on the faces. Turn the coin to its side, slowly, gently, and there lies one of its most fascinating features: edge lettering. A detail most people ignore, but collectors obsess over. Look at the inscriptions around the rim, the year, the mint mark, mottos like E pluribus unum and In God We Trust. Not printed on the surface like ordinary coins, but etched into the side like a hidden message. It feels almost secret, like something you have to discover to appreciate. And hidden details always bring mystery, and in the coin world, mystery often leads to value. This edge lettering is not just decoration. It's a fingerprint. A unique feature that sets this series apart, and one that would later lead to rare and valuable minting errors. Errors we will talk about very soon. Errors that transform pocket change into treasure. Feel the weight. Notice the thickness. Hear the sound if it drops lightly onto a table, a soft clink, not like silver, not like copper, but its own identity. Modern, yes, but meaningful. A coin born not to blend into circulation, but to stand as a modern tribute to past greatness. And think about where these coins have been. Some were saved in sealed rolls, kept untouched by collectors. Some traveled hand to hand through gas stations, grocery stores, banks, or maybe sat forgotten in drawers. A few slipped through unnoticed, until someone curious picked one up and wondered. That curiosity, that moment, is how discoveries begin. Collectors don't just study value, they study design, feel, metal, markings. They learn what is normal so they can spot what is not. And now you see why this part matters. Because only when you understand how this coin should look, can you recognize the rare mistakes, the oddities, the strange features that turn common coins into auction stories and internet legends. So now that you've truly seen this coin, not just with your eyes, but with understanding, we are ready to move into the thrilling part. The part where things go wrong at the mint. Where metal misaligns, letters vanish, strikes double, edges misprint, and ordinary becomes extraordinary. Keep watching, because what comes next isn't just numismatic information, it's a treasure map. And some of the errors on this coin have shocked collectors, pushed values higher than anyone expected, and turned skeptics into believers. We've explored the man. We've appreciated the design. Now, we step into the world of rare mistakes and real value. Now that we understand the history and design, we step into the part where ordinary ends and real opportunity begins. Because this is the moment collectors wait for, when we dig into the mistakes of the mint, the quiet accidents, the tiny imperfections that can make the difference between a coin worth $1 and a coin worth a small fortune. Imagine billions of coins rolling through high-speed machinery. Metal slamming into metal. Dies striking blanks at tremendous force. Edge lettering machines spinning coins like tiny stars. In that non-stop motion, even the most precise system can slip. A misfeed here. A misalignment there. A weak strike. A double strike. A forgotten edge inscription. And suddenly, a $1 coin becomes a treasure, simply because the mint is not perfect, and perfection is boring anyway. Collectors love mistakes. Mistakes make legends. And this James Madison presidential dollar has them: rare, fascinating, and sometimes shockingly valuable. One of the most famous possibilities is the missing edge lettering error. A presidential dollar with smooth edges, lacking the mint mark, year, and inscriptions. Instead of the bold phrases carved around the rim, you find a clean, unfinished edge. These are not common, and when found, they stand out like a gold coin with a ghost signature missing. Price: For James Madison dollars with missing edge lettering, collectors have paid anywhere from $150 to over $1,200, depending on grade and condition. The better the coin, the sharper the surfaces, the cleaner the finish, the higher the value climbs. Then there are double-edge lettering errors, where the edge inscriptions are applied twice. Sometimes perfectly aligned, sometimes overlapping like a confused echo in metal. A strange, haunting detail only visible if you look closely. These can range from $100 to $400, again depending on clarity and condition. Another category, inverted edge lettering, where the letters are upside down compared to the face of the coin. Some collectors treat this like a technical error, others call it a variety. Either way, it creates curiosity, and curiosity drives value. These typically sell around $50 to $200. But the story continues. Weak strikes, off-center strikes, die cracks, planchet flaws. Each of these possibilities introduces a twist, a visual signature of imperfection. A die crack running like a lightning bolt across the portrait? Depending on size and location, it may attract offers from $10 to $150. A visibly off-center strike where part of the design is missing? If dramatic enough, that can reach $200 to $800 or more. And then there are the ultra-rare mint mishaps, double strikes, broad strikes, coins struck on the wrong planchet. Imagine finding a golden-color Madison dollar struck on a quarter planchet or nickel planchet, thin, silver-colored, shocking to see. If one exists, and someone pulls it from circulation, it wouldn't just be valuable, it could be headline material. Such wrong planchet presidential dollars in other series have crossed $5,000 plus at auction. If a clear, authenticated Madison example surfaces, who knows? That's where dreams begin. That's where million-dollar whispers get oxygen. But we cannot talk about value without addressing the most important category of modern coins: condition and grading. A normal circulation Madison dollar, worn or lightly used, typically sits at face value, $1. A clean circulated example? Maybe $2 to $5 to the right collector. An uncirculated coin from a roll? $5 to $15. A brilliant uncirculated coin? $20 to $40. Now let's talk graded pieces. Coins graded MS 65 or better begin to separate from the crowd. MS 65? Around $50 to $120. MS 66? $150 to $300. But then the climb becomes steep. MS 67? You're in rare territory. Only a handful exist at that level, and such coins have sold for $500, $800, even $1,500 plus depending on the market and demand at the moment. And MS 68? That's where modern coin collectors hold their breath. Truly elite grade, extremely rare, potentially thousands. We are talking $3,000 to $10,000 plus if the right buyer appears. Modern coins at that grade level are investment-grade pieces, scarce, coveted, and often battle-tested by collectors chasing the best. And the legendary MS 69 or MS 70. For a business-strike James Madison dollar, nearly mythical. If one exists and is verified, it could command tremendous attention, the kind that breaks expectations. Could it be 5 figures? Absolutely. Could it spark the million-dollar rumor cycle? Without question. Modern coin markets have shocked collectors before. Rare perfect-grade moderns have sold for staggering prices. This is where dreams mix with reality. Because yes, most Madison dollars are worth $1. But a few are worth much more. A handful worth hundreds. Some worth thousands. And the rarest possibilities, the once-in-a-lifetime finds, are what fuel stories, videos, headlines, auction excitement, and collectors searching through piles of coins with hope in their hearts. And that is the truth of value. Most coins are common, but the hunt is never hopeless. The hidden ones exist, the errors, the perfect strikes, the forgotten rarities sitting in drawers and jars. And that possibility is why collectors never stop looking. We have now explored errors. We have broken down realistic values. We have acknowledged the dream and stayed honest with the truth. And now, we are ready for the moment where myth meets reality, the moment where we address the biggest question of all, the rumor of million-dollar presidential coins. Is it real? Is it misinformation? Is there a rare version yet to be discovered? Is it hype or hidden opportunity? Stay with me, because the next part is where illusions fade and truth becomes crystal clear. And the truth, when revealed, might not be what you expect, but it might also ignite a spark that keeps you searching for treasure every time you pick up a coin. And now, we reach the moment everyone waits for. The moment where excitement meets truth, where rumor meets reality, and where the dream of striking a modern-day fortune finally faces the facts. Because by now, you've heard the whispers. You've seen screenshots floating around the internet, images claiming presidential $1 coins selling for outrageous amounts. Some say thousands, some say hundreds of thousands, and a few bold voices whisper that one day, one of these might cross the $1 million mark. But let's slow down. Let's breathe. Let's do what collectors do best: separate fantasy from facts without killing the magic behind the hunt. First, understand this: any modern coin series with millions of pieces minted is going to attract hype. Especially when the design is beautiful, the edge lettering is unique, and the possibility of errors is real. And the presidential $1 series checks all those boxes. Combine that with the thrill of discovery on social media, and suddenly everyone wants to believe their pocket change holds a secret treasure. So where do these $1 million stories come from? Sometimes from confusion. Someone sees a rare error coin selling for big money in another series, and suddenly rumors blend. Sometimes from misinterpreted screenshots, numbers that include shipping or placeholders, or fake listings with absurd asking prices instead of actual sold values. And yes, sometimes from people purposely exaggerating to go viral. A photo, a caption, a dramatic rumor, and suddenly the internet runs with it. But here's the honest truth. As of right now, there is no verified sale of a James Madison presidential $1 coin for anything close to $1 million. Not yet. Not in auctions. Not in private sales. Not in grading records. These coins, even the rare errors, even the beautiful high-grade examples, live in the world of hundreds or thousands, not millions. That is the truth. Yet, that is not the whole story. Because every great collector knows something many beginners forget: value evolves. What is common today can be rare tomorrow. Coins once seen as ordinary have shocked the world generations later. There was a time when nobody thought a penny could sell for $1 million. There was a time when nobody believed a modern gold coin could hit 6 figures. And yet, auctions proved the doubters wrong again and again. Collectors with vision don't just chase what's valuable today, they hunt what might become valuable tomorrow. Think about it. These presidential dollars are not just coins, they are the first modern large-format, golden-tone dollar series honoring the entire presidential legacy. They were minted in relatively limited years. They feature edge lettering, a feature rarely used in U.S. coinage. They have official mint packaging, special issues, proof strikes, and yes, error varieties that already command strong money. Now imagine a coin from this series surviving untouched in perfect, flawless condition. Imagine an MS-70 business strike. Imagine a dramatic mint error no one knew existed, a 1 in a billion strike, preserved, authentic, shocking the numismatic world when revealed. Could such a coin cross 6 figures? It's possible. Could extreme rarity, perfect preservation, and future demand push beyond that one day? History has taught us never to say never. Because remember, value is created by rarity, demand, condition, and time. The real question isn't, is there a $1 million presidential dollar today? The real question is, could there be one in the future? And that answer remains open. Wide open. This is where reality meets hope, where logic meets passion, where truth meets mystery. And this is the beautiful part: even knowing the truth, people still search. They still believe. They still hold coins up to the light, tilt them, examine the edges, check for errors, send off for grading, and dream, not foolishly, but with the same spirit that drives explorers, treasure hunters, and numismatists throughout history. That dream is not a lie. That dream is the spark of the hobby. And hobbies survive on curiosity, not cynicism. So yes, the $1 million rumor is just that, a rumor. But the journey it inspires, the knowledge it leads you to, the thrill of the hunt, the possibility of rare discovery, the chance that your coin might be the one, that part is very real. And that brings us to the final step, the conclusion. Not an ending, but a perspective. Because after all the legends, the facts, the rumors, and the truths, what remains is the spirit of a collector and the mystery of a coin that still has time to surprise the world. So here we are, after a journey through mystery, whispers, history, metal, legends, and reality. We started with a simple coin, just a tiny piece of metal that millions once passed from hand to hand without a second thought. And yet, this little round disc managed to create rumors, spark dreams, and send collectors into a frenzy, whispering that somewhere out there, someone got rich from it. But now you know the truth. The 1917 British half-crown is not about fairy-tale jackpots or miracle million-dollar sales. It isn't about instant fortune or overnight success. Instead, it's about legacy. It's about a world long gone, a world of kings and crowns, of war and rebuilding, of tradition and family history carried through coins that survived generations. And think about it, that's powerful. Coins like this don't just hold monetary value. They hold time, memory, touch, life. Imagine that, every scratch, every smooth edge, every faded detail, is a fingerprint of history. Someone in 1917 held this coin buying bread during World War I. Someone else may have saved it during hardship, hoping better days would come. Someone may have passed it down like a secret treasure, knowing one day it would matter. And today, it matters again, not because of some sensational price rumor, but because you understand its true story. This coin teaches us something bigger. Not every treasure shines because of gold and wealth. Some shine because of the stories they carry. So the next time someone asks, "Is the 1917 half-crown worth $1 million?" you smile and say, "No, it's worth something rarer. It carries a century of history. And that, my friend, is priceless." But let's not forget, value is never fixed. Coins rise. Markets change. Rare varieties emerge. A tiny error can turn ordinary metal into a legend. And who knows? The world of collecting has surprises waiting every single day. Today, the 1917 half-crown may sell for modest numbers. But tomorrow, a new discovery could rewrite its story. And maybe, just maybe, someone watching right now will be the one to find that legendary piece. So don't stop searching. Don't stop learning. Don't stop collecting. Because in a world chasing big numbers, you are someone who understands the real treasure. Knowledge, history, passion, curiosity, and the thrill of discovery. If you enjoyed this journey, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Because many more hidden stories and rare coin secrets are waiting for you. And trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Until then, keep your eyes open, your curiosity alive, and your coins safe. Because in the world of numismatics, every coin has a story, and every story has value. See you in the next treasure hunt.